Greg out of the shotgun with a snap back. The pass fires in the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown Seahawks. Gansey's got it.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This week on Fridays at the Whiteboard, I wanted to take a look at a very common term we as fans hear when the offense struggles. The word that's almost used without fail in any kind of bad game offensively, and that's execution. Most fans don't know what that means. And so I want to take you through 3 basic things that you should know about execution and how all these things tie together to make a play work or not work. One is QB timing, the second is wide receiver route execution, and the third is cornerback leverage. And just for fun, I've used some old school players from back in the day with Matt Hasselbeck at quarterback, Bobby Ingram at wide receiver, and Kelly Herndon in at nickel. So let's first talk about quarterback timing. We hear that a lot. The thing that I'm going to talk to you about right now is quarterbacking from under center. There are 3 basic drops that help a quarterback set his timing. First is the 3-step drop, and these are for the quickest passes you can throw. The routes are very quick to develop, so as soon as that quarterback hits his 3rd step and collects his momentum, his routes should be open, or the concept of the play should fully develop the way it's supposed to. The second and most common drop is the 5-step drop. These are for intermediate passes of 10 to 15 yards. The concept is really pretty developed by the time you hit your 5th step. And the deepest passes, this is the 3rd one, is the 7-step drop. And these ones are getting the ball downfield 20 to 30 yards in large chunks. You're really aiming to do that. Now, I've linked a video in the article below this video where Bill Walsh will walk you through some of the intricacies of the footwork from under center. In terms of shotgun, it's a little more demanding on the quarterback, as he just has to kind of make all the judgments for himself, as opposed to letting the footwork determine his timing, how he's going to collect himself, and the momentum. But the reason I bring up this style of footwork and this timing is because Russell Wilson has talked a lot about working on his footwork, and that's what he wants. That's what he's talking about. He's talking about setting his timing and mechanics so that he can make better throws to his receivers. Okay? So let's talk about the second thing on this list, and that's wide receiver route execution. Now, most people think that a wide receiver succeeds in the NFL with elite speed. And when you talk about good route runners, a lot of people don't realize what that means. But using probably the best example in recent franchise memory, Bobby Ingram, Bobby didn't have a lot of speed or tremendous quickness. He was sort of quick, but mostly he was going to run routes in such a way to convince the defender he needed to beat that the route he was running wasn't the actual route. So think of it almost like a Jedi mind trick. This isn't the route you're looking for. What Bobby would do in terms of running his route is run it in such a fashion to, if he couldn't get the corner to bite and pull back, because on this route you'd run it mostly as like a go right until you hit the top. But Bobby not having great speed, the corner would never really pull off much. So what Bobby would do is he would get to the top of this route and then he would fake an outside pattern. And this would pull Kelly Herndon towards the sideline or away from this route. So then Bobby would immediately cut back inside and complete the route the way it's drawn up. This would create natural separation of about a half to a full stride. Then what he would need from Matt Hasselbeck is to hit him about 2 strides into the route, so about here. So right about there is where Matt would need to decide to throw the ball. Why you need to throw it before he actually gets to Matt Hasselbeck is because you want to hit Bobby Ingram in stride so he can continue running. Patterns like this are designed like slants to be hitting the wide receiver as they're moving, almost like handoffs if you can. If he throws it to Bobby, meaning he throws it as Bobby gets to the end of the route, he's going to throw it behind. He's actually going to throw it behind him, or Bobby's going to have to desperately try and stop and reach for the football. Another thing is, if he throws it too early, right as Bobby makes this cut, he's probably going to get intercepted by one of the linebackers, or he's going to get Bobby creamed by a defender. Another thing in terms of execution is understanding cornerback leverage and eliminating routes when they aren't there. So one of the ways that you would do this is, let's say Kelly Herndon is actually sitting over the top of the route, so he's over this way. Or, somewhere in that vicinity. If he's over the top of the route, you can't throw it. Also, if he's pressed up here, so he's close to Bobby, it's very unlikely that the nickel corner is going to press the slot corner, just because you have to worry about quicker passes and screens to the running back, different stuff like that make it harder if your nickel corner is up and can get blocked easier, because you're limited with one less linebacker on the field. So that's just the basic premise of how executing a certain route works in the framework of offense, and hopefully people will understand what execution means. If you have questions and I can elaborate on some things, as I tried to kind of compress it into a basic sense, please feel free to comment, and I will definitely try to broaden this topic some more. Thanks.